There are people using a new flag for protesting. And in the UK, they are going to digital IDs, along with new UAP footage coming from the Pentagon. In today's video, we're going to be reacting to the latest strange and mysterious clips that I could find on TikTok. Let's get into it.
Bill Gates. He's behind this company that made this new butter, right?
Yes.
Butter.
Better believe it's not butter because it's not. It's made out of gasoline.
The company is working with bakeries and food suppliers to incorporate their carbon-made butter. They're walking through where they're making the butter, and there's this thing right here, this huge tub, and it's just
Slop water?
It's called slop water. There's just this.
And he's behind this company that's a birth control pill that you take it and you won't have babies for 8 years.
It's in Kenya and Nigeria are the two places that it's been approved for rollout. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is behind the rollout. It's for population expansion control, but it's like, dude, 8 years.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
talking about a potential like 8-year minimum gap in population. That's huge.
You're giving all of this out to a population who may or may not be well educated on what to do.
Well, especially if research is coming out now with birth control being a cancer causing.
It's complicated because it's like
Yeah, Bill Gates, women's priorities first.
Yeah, 100%.
he's always made human health first
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like never profited.
I don't know what it is exactly, but hearing all that kind of has my heart racing in a angry way. I guess I'm mad. If I can't just have traditional butter, I'd prefer just not having any at all. I understand that it's supposedly a low carbon footprint and there's no animal involvement, but we already have fake butter. We don't really need to make any more. And as far as the birth control thing goes, one, do we really know the long-term effects of this vax? And two, how will that alter that society? I don't agree with it personally. I mean, if the whole country agrees with it, that's on them, but for me, I would not be happy about it.
A flag from an anime show is now becoming the real-life symbol of Gen Z protests around the world. Multiple countries have been rocked by major youth-led protests recently, and the Jolly Roger pirate flag from the Japanese manga One Piece has now largely become the symbol and face of these movements in countries like Indonesia, Nepal, the Philippines, and even France. Banners with this symbol in crowds are now becoming common. It's been painted on the streets, raised outside of people's homes, and in Nepal, they even hung it on the golden gate of the burning parliament buildings. In fact, it's even gotten to the point where some governments like Indonesia have labeled it a treasonous act. One activist from Nepal said, "We wanted the movement to feel like a Gen Z movement." So the slogans and symbols used during the protests were linked with things that Gen Z youths could relate to. And it's not being used just because it's popular. It's also because the plot of the show revolves around a group of young people who, while in the pursuit of lost treasure, aim to challenge oppressive leaders. And it's been so effective because this anime symbol transcends language, culture, and borders, and it's become the reference to unite and galvanize young people from around the world. And when it's seen in this context, it's now becoming a rallying cry for the new generation to hold governments accountable for things like corruption, neglect, and censorship. And with more Gen Z protest plans stretching to other countries as well, the question becomes, will we be seeing more of the One Piece symbol or not?
I really hope that they don't have to change that logo of the flag or that icon. That would be a shame, being that this series is like 28 years old. I'm a really big fan of anime, I'm a really big fan of manga, but when it comes to One Piece, I tried giving it a chance, really didn't catch my interest. I got like 10 episodes in and the Usopp story just kind of ended it for me. If anyone's familiar with One Piece, let me know in the comments. I've never even seen the live action series. I heard it was really good though. But as far as this goes, it's definitely a way to show that you're a Gen Z, I guess. What an interesting strategy.
People are saying that it's obviously squatters or it's AI. Well, it is neither. The reason I know it's not a squatter is because I've been working in the house about maybe 2.5, 3 months beforehand. And this was the last day of work in there. I just removed all my tools from the property. And when I say the house was empty, there was nothing. There was nothing in it, no furniture, no tools. I mean, there's nothing. It's an empty home. So seeing the blinds twitching from the corner of my eye is what made me go ahead and take the pictures that I did. I was actually trying to video it. But anyway, as soon as I seen this, I entered the home again, looked around in the closets, everywhere you think someone could hide. I mean, there's not many places, shower or whatever. I went to the building next door, retrieved a step ladder, went in there, looked up in the attic, and there was nothing. I would rather have found somebody in that house because it would actually give me answers. Right now I have no answers. But there's a lot of stuff that's happened in that house.
That would be incredibly disturbing. Like you said, I would have hoped to have found someone in the house, at least. There would be answers. Could you imagine getting off of work, you're ready to go home and relax. Next thing you know, you pull up into your yard and you see your blind going like this? That would terrify me, especially if you live alone. I would be so upset if I walked into the house and there was nobody there. Because like you said, at least you would have an answer if someone was there. Whether it was someone trying to rob you or a squatter, you at least have an answer. This would drive me nuts. I'm not sure if it is real. If there is nobody in the house and or any animals, what could that have been? I would probably go insane. I would have to leave that place because I would always wonder what's there. Let me know in the comments as to what you think it could have been if this is a real video. Hey there, I'm the guy that edits these videos. Looking back over at that clip, I'm kind of thinking that it's more on the line of being a fake video. There was a slight pause that I do not think DK realized that there was happening when he was showing that clip. Looking over it while editing, I did catch that, so it's making me believe that it could be a fake video. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think in the comments on it. Hey, if you haven't done so already and you're enjoying the show, give it a like. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I upload a video like this every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And for everyone that's watching and or subscribed, thank you so much for supporting the channel.
It's because people are designed with intention. Your soul chooses an avatar, and that avatar is custom designed to help your soul fulfill its purpose here on Earth. None of this is by mistake. That's why perfectly distributed around the entire globe are the right people with the right skill sets and mindsets and archetypes to do all the things that need to be done. That's on purpose. Your job is to be you, is to realize who you are and then give yourself permission just to be yourself. You don't need to change anything. You're made exactly how you're supposed to be made. You just need to step into your role with authority. And I think that with 3i Atlas, as it comes through and as it sheds its material and it drops off its information that's now injected and infused into our closed system here, I see it as the seed to the Great Awakening.
Honestly, he could have just stopped with the you just need to step into your role and handle it with authority. I do not understand why he had to bring in the 3i Atlas situation. Otherwise, good speech.
Okay, I'm deep underground. Check this out. I know it's not a petrified snake, but it sure as heck looks like one.
Definitely looks like snake
looks like the
skin.
scales of a prehistoric anaconda.
That's really cool. What is it?
It's just like an underground rainforest that's preserved on the ceiling in this abandoned mine. Look at these fossils under the water. So cool.
That, whatever that is, snakeskin looking thing, really neat. I don't know how far deep underground is to this guy, but I would like to know what that is. So if anyone has any comments as to what it could be, please let me know, because if that's not a fossilized snake or snakeskin, I don't know what it could be. I would like to be someone that got to explore this kind of stuff, but when it comes to the tight spaces, couldn't do it. But you let me put a drone through there or some kind of small robotic creature, sign me up.
Hey everybody, so our friends at Arrow have been gracious enough to release a few brand new UAP videos. Arrow, of course, being the Pentagon's all-domain anomaly resolution office. Anyhow, let's take a look at one and let's break it down. So this footage comes from 2022. It was recorded by an infrared sensor aboard a US military platform under the United States Africa Command. As you can see, it shows a heat signature with characteristics that you'd typically expect from a physical object or craft, but Arrow says they can't confirm whether it's truly a solid craft or a thermal reflection, an environmental anomaly, or even a sensor glitch. The video is just 31 seconds long, but it is now officially part of the UAP case files at Arrow. This is the type of case where the data is obviously too limited for a definitive answer, but it's still significant enough to make it into the public record. But let me know, what's your interpretation? Tell me in the comments.
My interpretation is that that was so unrecognizable that it was acceptable to put into the public records. There was literally nothing there, nothing that I could really see of interest or to identify. Now that was a 2022 video. Now that we have these new jet drones that are controlled by AI, I demand that we start sending those out to investigate UFO UAPs with high quality video recording equipment on it. That is my demand. There should be no excuse for poor video quality or poor evidence now. So let's get it out there, please.
Okay, so someone sent me this video of King Charles and people fainting in his presence. And at first I thought, people faint. But then I'm like, wait a minute. How many times have people fainted by being in the presence of King Charles? And what is with that? Now, we know about this strange painting and everything. I'm not going to talk too much about that. But all I will say is the age-old explanation for this is that people tend to faint in the presence of demonic or satanic activity. I will say, if you were to just ask someone what kind of vibes this portrait gives off, I don't know that you could say it's love and light. In fact, it looks bloody. And again, we saw what happens when you invert it, duplicate it, and match them up together. What type of coincidence would that be? And what is with the very interesting history of the royal family anyway? And what makes their bloodline enable them, or rather give them the power to rule over others? I'm not sure I'm really buying this whole story. Side note, by the way, we're all familiar with inheritance taxes, where when someone passes in your family, you don't just get all their money. The government gets a big cut. Of course, taxed here, taxed there, and even taxed when you bite it. Well, King Charles is not paying any inheritance tax from the Queen passing because of a law, and they don't want the royal wealth to be salami sliced away. So once again, we have another example of rules for thee, but not for me. How dare you try to get around paying inheritance tax on your loved one who worked their whole lives to accumulate that money. We don't have to deal with that if we're a royal family member. I just thought that was interesting, and I can tell you that if there was a vote, I would say probably the vast majority of people would say, no, you got to pay it too, or get rid of the whole thing. Not selective law applyingness. Now, the next video we're going to have to do a deep dive on is Princess Diana and the very strange circumstances that surrounded her passing, what she might have been talking about. And a lot of our parents grew up through this. I'm speaking that, all of you guys are at different ages, but even there was rumors and whispers, what really happened to her, etc. And now time has passed, and we know a lot may have happened. We're going to discuss more about this in another post. Follow for more and comment your thoughts below.
I am very curious as to why people would be passing out around this guy. Is it because he's just very well known? I mean, he's King Charles, and people just get so excited or so nervous that they just can't handle the overwhelming feelings and it just makes them drop out? Or is there some kind of spiritual aspect to it that is affecting people? My guess, it's probably just due to his presence of him being King Charles. It's probably nerve-wracking being around him, and that's what makes people pass out. That would be my guess. I mean, people, from my understanding, when Elvis performed, passed out when he was on stage. Same goes for Michael Jackson. But then you could also say that that was also due to demonic presence.
So digital ID is officially going to be here, and there is some big concerns. We've known for a while there's been a lot of talk about digital ID, which means everything like your passport and driving license will all be digitalized. Essentially, they've said they're doing this as a way to stop illegal migration. Everything will be registered to your online persona in a way. Similar to the online safety bill where you have to upload your identity to prove you're allowed to view certain websites. This basically takes it a step further and means, well, yeah, you're going to tell you have the right to rent or have the right to be in the country, basically. But as I say, a lot of people have concerns, not just because of digital ID, because that does exist around the world. Like, that's not the biggest problem. But it's a combination across the board because of all of these new plans that are all linked to digitalized personas and everything about you being online, it has its risks. Now, this is set to be officially announced in the coming days. Like, this could be very, very soon. And we're not sure of the ins and outs of what's going to be announced, but this is pretty much what they're saying so far. Now, people are extremely concerned because if everything about them is controlled online, everything can be taken away just as quickly. Your banking could be stopped. Anything. Like, if you do one thing out of line, who knows where this could go? And even many people being concerned about hackers or people using their identity. Like, it could be pretty scary. For the moment, though, it's nothing to be that concerned about. We don't even know what is officially going to happen, but the digital ID is 99.9% sure to be coming in. We just don't know in what way.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I get that they want to keep an eye on people for safety and for law-abiding measurements, but there could be loopholes that get broken, and then you can get penalized for those broken loopholes that you had nothing to do with. Someone could be falsifying their identity, maybe hacked your account, and are doing very heinous things, and now the government's targeting you because they think it's you doing it. So they just shut your bank account down. They don't allow you to have renting access or notify your landlord that you are a suspected criminal. Sounds pretty awful. Now, will that stuff ever happen? I don't know. That's just the kind of stuff that goes through my mind, but we'll see, because I have a feeling whether we like it or not, eventually I think that the world's going to adapt to this. For any people out there in the UK, let me know how you feel about this possibly happening. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video again. I'm really sorry that today's video was super short. I do have a lot of people asking why are my videos so short lately, and it's just due to the lack of content. I try to do the most recent videos that are out on TikTok. I don't like bouncing between old videos that I've already seen or reacted to before. Maybe every once in a while adding something that we've seen is fine, but I can't honestly play it off as if I've not seen this or had thoughts about a video that I've watched before. So with that, my videos have been suffering in length because there just is not very much conspiracy content going on right now. So just laying it out there, if my videos are short, it's not because I personally want to make them short, because trust me, I would love if my videos were like 30-35 minutes long, but there just isn't any content out there for that. So hopefully you understand the reason why my videos are short lately, but at least there's videos. I have been missing out on uploading quite a bit because of the lack of content, but I've decided that if I can get at least 10 minutes worth of content to react to, that's justifiable enough for me to upload it to YouTube. But with that being said, if today's your birthday, happy birthday, and if not, have a good day anyways.